Hello and good evening. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. I am popping on because it's that time of evening where we get to congregate together and talk about some interesting things that are important to people who work, but particularly women in the workplace. And tonight we're going to be, my watch is on backwards. So anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about take this job and shove it. What? Wait a minute. So anyway, and it's going to stem from a discussion that we were having yesterday about personality, styles, and how to utilize information from those kinds of assessments to help to create better situations in the workplace, better workplace dynamics. So I am, just come on in, say hello when you get here, and I will say hello either now or later. If you're catching this on the replay, type replay in the comments, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I am Bashana Weatherspoon, career strategist and excellence accelerator, helping women who feel frustrated in their careers to emerge from stuck and surge to their next level of success. I'm also the host of the Know Your Worth Career podcast that's centered around helping women to maneuver some of the special situations that we encounter in the workplace. We bring on special guests who talk about different topics and helping women to figure out how to maneuver some of those different or difficult situations that they often incur in the workplace. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Before I jump into this content for tonight, I want to invite you to like and share this video. Tag a friend, tag a coworker, tag someone that you care about who you know needs to hear this information so that they can figure out how to get unstuck in their careers. Okay? So as I was alluding to, on yesterday, we talked about the different personality styles. We were talking about the DISC assessment. And I was sharing with you some insights that I had gained from a full day's training that I attended yesterday, specifically on the DISC. And we were just talking about, how you can, a quick way that you can identify the person that's sitting on the opposite side of the table from you and when you're in work meetings and different situations so that you can figure out how you can better interact with them. So today we're going to continue that in somewhat of a similar fashion. We're going to talk about today if you're in a situation where you're having difficulties with your supervisor, you're having difficulties with your coworker, some other things that you may need to consider if it's not the personality situation that we talked about on yesterday, because sometimes it could be some different things. So to continue on with that, my first tip that I want to offer you, because of course I'm going to give you some tips to help you to figure out what you can do. The first thing that you can do is to always start by looking in the mirror, doing some reflecting on yourself to determine if you might be contributing to the issue or the situation that's occurring at your workplace. Because sometimes, it's true, we have blind sides. Sometimes we're not aware of all of the things that we do or how they impact other people. So if you have been in a situation where you've gotten feedback about something that you need to improve and maybe you just brushed it off, but if you keep getting that same feedback over and over again from different people, then I would implore you to take the opportunity to just sit with those comments, that feedback that you've received to see if there is any validity to it. And if there's any piece that you can take away that's going to help you to improve, because at the end of the day, it's all about you becoming a better person, a better employee, and so that you can climb the ladder or go horizontally on the ladder if that's what your desire is, so that you can have the career experience that you desire. So if you have, like I said, just consider that feedback. Take a day, take a weekend, reflect on it, see if there's anything that could be true about it. Talk about it with someone who knows you well to see if it might have some resonance of truth to it. And if so, make a plan of action to do something different. Some of the things that you could do if you find that you're contributing to a negative situation is that you can work to improve upon it. And that's the great thing about it. We talked about the DISC styles. You can, of course, revisit that. You could also look at emotional intelligence strategies, and then some good old-fashioned effective communication skills. Sitting down at the table and talking things out is never a bad idea. The next thing that you can do is to determine clear work expectations from your boss and, from your colleagues, because sometimes you just have differences of perceptions about what you think needs to be done and who needs to be doing what and when and where and how and why and all of those kinds of things. So for your supervisor, even for working with a coworker, you want to make sure that you have some clearly defined written performance goals that you utilize to determine whether or not you're doing the job that you've been hired to do. And then you want to know how you're being graded for those things, because if you have performance measures, you need to know how you are evaluated against those measures so that you know if you're doing really well, if you're barely making the cut, or if you're just below the line. That's very important, and you need to keep records of your progress, your successes, projects that you've taken on, things that you've volunteered to do that's extra, all of that stuff. You want to create documentation against those standards that you have that have been written out and given to you. The next thing you want to do, and you always want to maintain your professional composure when dealing with difficult situations, whether it's your boss or your coworker or whomever, because your personal brand is always up for display. That's what people see. They see you and how you act and react and interact in the workspace, and they make judgments about, what they see. Now, sometimes that, that's a little caveat that could go to that, but let's just take it for what I just said it was. People are judging you based upon how you present. And so you want to make sure that you're presenting in a professional, rational, calm manner, because people take note of that when they see someone who is displaying emotional intelligence. And I got to tell you, emotional intelligence is more important than your IQ when it comes to creating success that you want in your career. Okay? So you want to make sure that you are mastering those strategies. If you need a resource, there's a book that's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0. And it's a very good book to read. There's strategies to help you to figure out how to improve your emotional intelligence. If you're one who's hot to blow up and create a scene or whatever, there's ways that you can put strategies into place so that you can help to develop yourself in that area. And you should always want to be developing and learning and expanding and growing so that you get better and you don't just remain the same, or in worst case scenario, just digress. So the fourth thing that you could do is to talk to someone at a higher level than your boss. And maybe that's the way that you get the thing resolved. Now, when I was in a situation where I had a bad boss who accused me of doing something that was inaccurate, I took it to the next level. of the chain and discuss the behavior that I had been subjected to with the person who was in a more senior position. And that, I have to tell you, that was my first time having that experience with that person, and that was my last time having that kind of experience with that person, because the person that I went and talked to them, and that nipped it right in the bud. Now, so don't be afraid if you have to do that. Don't be afraid to go and voice your concerns about situations that are going on that impact your ability to do your job well, because that's why they have you there. That's why they're paying you to do your job and to do it well. What you want to do, though, is to refrain from making personal attacks on the person, character accusations. I mean, you just want to avoid any of that. What you want to do instead is focus on the your observation of the behaviors that have taken place or that continue to take place. And that's the way that you approach that. And hopefully, you're talking to someone who takes pride and responsibility for the positions that they're holding and do what is right in terms of helping to resolve it. Now, if all else fails and none of these things that I've mentioned to you are solutions that actually work, but I want you to try those first, then, sometimes the best answer is just to move on. It might be just that time. This is your reason. This is your push. This is your impetus to get out and do something different, to explore and see what that next opportunity is that's out there for you. So it's important that you create and maintain a strong professional network of contacts so that you can have access to job opportunities and openings and positions and all kinds of things to help you to find yourself a new job quickly. Because it's been shown that more people get jobs through referrals than they do through just applying online and submitting their resumes. So you want to make sure that you keep in contact with people that you've worked with before, bosses that you've had before, professional networks and associations. You want to volunteer and meet new people. Keep that network open. So that you always know that you have a resource that you can turn to if you need it to be able to, keep your paycheck coming, whether it's from this employer or it's from another employer. And you don't always have to leave the organization that you're with. Sometimes it's just knowing the right people, and you can just move around and you get rid of that jerk that person, and you don't have that to deal with. You just move on and go over to your new place and create yourself a new life. Now, if you are a career woman who is looking for a way to expand your professional network, I want to invite you to join my new group called Straight Talk, Women, Careers, and Money. The purpose of this group is to support experienced career women in their quest for better opportunities, for happiness, for fulfillment in their 9-to-5 careers. Because we all know having a job, it can get mundane, it can get boring, you can outgrow it, you can get to the point where you want more and they only have this much to offer. So there's all kinds of situations that happen. And I just talked about this network. Having this network, this access to other people, other professional women who can help you along the way, is a great resource to have, as I just mentioned. And plus you'll have me. You'll have the career strategist extraordinaire to help you along your journey. So anyway, but our goal is really just to help women who are looking to take their careers to the next level, to do that and to do it successfully. So for more information, please check out the link bit.ly/Straight Talk with Vashana. Okay? So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you have found value in this live. I want to invite you to like and share this broadcast so that it can be a blessing to the next person who really could use this information because they're really struggling in their position where they are right now. And that's all I have for you. I'll see you next time. I hope you have a great evening. Bye-bye.